Latvia's cheapest accommodation, Latvian food, historical experts and underlying unease. Join me as I dive deep into life beyond the football pitch here in Riga. The first stop on my list was to check into my accommodation. I decided to chance my luck with a hostel in the old town of Riga.
Of course, nothing but the best. We're staying in the Bluebird hostel. Beautiful. Yes. That's alright, isn't it? Bunk beds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my cabin with stunning views over the old town. When I'm travelling myself, travel cheap. This is €20 per night, so it's not bad. And we're right in the heart of the old town, which is pretty beautiful. Cathedral over here, Old Town Square here.
Riga is a classic European city. It has a beautiful old town and lots of interesting stories that come with it.
Initial impressions of Latvia, we've been here a couple of hours now. The sun came out, which always makes the city beautiful, but architecture, the buildings that are here are lovely. There's nice green spaces, there's loads of little trendy little restaurants, cafes, bars. Everyone's sitting outside, which is what I love. Obviously they get better weather here in summer, but lifestyle-wise it looks pretty nice. So, it's a good start.
The next stop of the day was to find some authentic Latvian food. But first, it was time for a quick pit stop at one of Riga's hidden gems.
So Riga is famous for its coffee culture. We have raspberry and dark chocolate, and we have a rhubarb cake here. So we're going to taste test out of 10. Not a huge fan of dark chocolate, so hot. Out of 10, 7. And for the rhubarb, that's the one. I'm going to give that an 8.5. We've been recommended to try out Lidl, some affordable and authentic Latvian food. Is this Lidl?
Yeah.
It's a Latvian free-for-all. Looks like we're starting at the dessert for some reason.
There was a lot going on here. There was a salad bar, dessert bar, drinks bar, hot food, cold food, and I wasn't entirely sure if it was self-service or if the chef was to plate everything up for you. A stressful dining experience, to say the least. However, I was fully committed to trying something local this evening, but I wasn't sure where to start. Eventually, one of the kind chefs directed me towards a famous cold Latvian summer soup, which is made up entirely of beetroot. At last, I would get to taste something local.
So we braved it through the war zone up there. School canteen was the shout. Managed to get ourselves some chicken, some potatoes, a small green salad, and some beetroot soup. Bon appetit. Not sure about that. You can have the rest. It's always a good time when there's tons of locals in the place. I think we'll be back. We were a little bit nervous about filling our plates. We didn't really know how the pricing structure was. That was reasonably priced, about €10 each. The cakes that we had earlier today, we got done €19. So someone had told me Latvia was affordable. Cakes in the old town, not affordable.
As the day drew to a close, it was time to try something a little bit stronger that was unique to Latvia.
Life beyond the pitch in Riga is finished with a classic Latvian drink, black Balsam. It is drunk by nobody in Latvia because, well, look at it. The smell of it is strong. The look of it is dark, but it is drank by everyone who comes to visit Latvia. So I'm going to give it a taste. Cheers. I'm going to struggle to finish this, I think. Oh, it's like licorice.
After a successful day of consuming some of Latvia's food and drinks, it was time for bed. Tomorrow I was going to be meeting a historical expert to hear about some of Latvia's past.
It's now time to discover Riga beyond the pitch. We've joined a huge walking tour, and we're going to be trying to see as many of the top sites as we can in Riga's old town. Let's see what it's all about.
I spent the next 2 hours navigating my way around Riga's cobbled streets. We visited the House of the Blackheads, Riga Cathedral and the Three Brothers, which is the oldest medieval building in Riga, and of course the building was built by 3 men from the same family, hence the name. As the tour came to a close, we got the chance to speak with our tour guide and historical expert, Richards Oseniks.
So in 1940, this is the time when we have Soviets arriving in these areas. Managed to do a couple of quite nasty things during that time. More than 20,000 people got deportated away, mostly politicians, cultural workers, all the leaders of the society. Only a week after this, Nazis attack. 2 weeks later, they're already here in Riga. Only 3 days later, this is when Crystal Night of Riga takes place. All the synagogues that were here were burnt down. It just shows in a couple of weeks, there were actually a lot of big mass terror events happening from both sides at that time. The Soviets arrived with a very loud slogan, which went, "We have liberated these areas." Unfortunately, didn't feel that much as a liberation, since the guys never left. Until 1991, Latvia actually manages to restore its independence. There's a couple of Latvian people that I think are quite nice. Jakobs Jufus, he actually changed his name. He became Jacob Davis, and this is how you can find most information about him. Created the first patent of jeans, which was later sold very soon to Levi Strauss. And the other one, yes, Alexander Sliepa, he created the first Pringles chips. I think they're the best ones.
After an interesting history lesson on Latvia, I began to realise there was a consistent theme running across the lips of the people I'd spoken to here: Russia. Latvia had only recently regained its independence, yet the threat of Russia remains ever present in the minds of the people here.
What is the level of concern when it comes to Russia? Is it a concern? And the answer is yes. I was told off one local that majority of families will at least have talked about what they will do if there is an invasion from the Russians, which is pretty mental. At home, 21-year-old football players are worrying about football, and that's about it. Here, they're worrying about football and the possibility of Russia and what they're capable of. So it is pretty insane, to be honest, for me to get my head round.
7 days in Latvia is coming to an end for me. It's been an unforgettable trip. I've met so many people. My head feels like it was going to explode, from food to the people to the historical sites to the football. I wanted to do the country, the city Riga justice by exploring as much as I could on the pitch and off the pitch. Now, the big question is, where should I go next? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you Riga, thank you Latvia, and thank you FK Meta for an unforgettable experience. I'm Sam Wardrop, and this has been The World Through Football.